Alrighty, guys. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Just want to check audio first, real quick, because I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I think you can, but it doesn't sound good. That, I bet you sounds significantly better. Properties, yep. Don't know why it switched to that one, but okay. Let's see. Well, I don't care, YouTube. I'm working. Alright, guys. So, I am going to be working on this laptop today. It is a Dell Inspiron 3127, I think. It's got four gigs of RAM, um, dual core, no hyper-threading. Um, the issue I have with it is the keyboard, and I'm going to demonstrate that really quickly. So, power button is over here. Yes, we do have a light. Okay, over there. Alrighty. And I'm going to angle it so you guys can watch it boot up. So this initially ran Windows 8, and after the previous owner decided that they didn't want it anymore, I took it and put Ubuntu 20.04 on it. So that is what it is currently booting. And it like I said, it's only dual core, so it's a little bit slow. The reason I don't have the logo for Dell right here is because I swapped out the kernel. I am currently using the ZanMod kernel on here, and the reason I did that is because it gives me a little bit more responsiveness on the system. RAM usage is about the same. I have both GNOME and XFCE on here. And the reason I did that is because I wanted something that was both good with touchscreens, and I wanted something that was lighter weight, because with 4 gigabytes of RAM, that's kind of what you need to do, something lightweight. But it has a touchscreen, because this is a 2-in-1, which is very nice. Alright, there we go. And we are in GDM. Alrighty. Now, I did actually disable the keyboard and the trackpad, so I'm going to have to go back in here and re-enable it real quick. And the reason I need to do that is because what we're doing today is we are replacing the keyboard. Only part of the keyboard works. And once I re-enable everything, I'll demonstrate that. Trackpad works fine. It's just the keyboard that I'm replacing. Unfortunately, this is going to be a pretty involved repair, because I have to essentially gut the entire thing, and this top plate right here is attached to the keyboard permanently, so I have to replace this entire thing. But that's okay, because I have the replacement part in here. Alrighty. So if you'll give me just 1 second. I'm going to turn that audio down a little bit so I don't hurt anybody's ears who's on earbuds. Alrighty. So let's see. X input, if I can type. Reattach, and I want 15, I think. Oh, come on. This is part of the reason I wanted to fix this, is because it's kind of annoying. Reattach 15.3. Alright, so that should be the keyboard. Yep, okay. And then that is 13 to 2. Oh yeah. Alrighty. Are we working? Okay. I'll work on the touchpad here in a little bit. But, so here's a terminal. And you can see, so some of these keys work. So I'm hitting the K key right now and nothing's happening. If I hit the Enter key, it doesn't matter how much force I get. Okay, thank you, Farron. Let's see. There we go. Alright. Let me know if I'm quiet now. That should be a little bit louder. Alright. So, as you can see, I have a bunch of junk in the prompt here on this terminal. And I'm pressing Enter. It doesn't matter how hard I press. I can use half my body, and it does nothing. So that key is definitely broken, and Enter is something that you need. I know V works, as you can see. Alright, so keyboard is basically half broken, and that's useless. So I'm going to be replacing this entire top piece with a new keyboard I got in the mail, and it's going to be pretty involved because I basically have to gut the entire thing and put it back together. So, and I might be doing an upgrade in the process because I have a 2006 MacBook Pro here, and it has an SSD, which seems kind of unfair considering this thing we bought in like 2012. So, and it has a hard drive. So I'm thinking about taking the SSD out of this and putting it in here. So, yeah, I keep getting notifications. Who's messaging me? Ah, okay. Thank you for interrupting the stream, Farron, on Telegram. Alrighty. So let me see if I can't really quickly fix my touchpad right quick. I might need to reboot. 13. I'm going to try doing that. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, you can actually use X input in order to enable and disable different input things. Oh, okay. That's fine. Float, Badoom. Why don't you like me? So I used 15 on that, and That was 3. So that should have been 2. Of course that doesn't work. There we go. No, fine. Okay, I must have hooked it up wrong. So, I'm going to shut this down now. Power off. Power off. And I'm going to set this to the side while it's shutting down. There it goes. Okay. And we can unbox our new keyboard. So this came in the mail from Amazon yesterday. Ta-da. So thankfully there are several stickers on the underside of this that I was able to use to figure out what exact keyboard I needed. And a little bit of Googling later and some verification of the sticker numbers matching up to a reasonable degree. I am about 90-ish% certain that this will work. So, looks like the laptop has shut down. Alrighty. Let's open her up. Alrighty. So, I have a little bit of a thing over here that I can use to organize my screws. Just so that way I can get screws in more or less the right place. I know on MacBooks, the newer ones, sometimes you have to make sure you get screws in the same place they were because they can be different sizes, and some of them are connecting different sides of PCBs, and they're connecting wires to the PCB and all these other things. I don't think that's the case with this laptop. I know there are some Windows laptops that do that, but they aren't nearly as common as MacBooks that do that. But I like to play it safe and assume that all laptops that I do that with, that I take apart, do that to some degree. Because it's better to be safe than sorry. By the way, if you can hear the fan from my laptop in the background, I'm sorry. Apparently having 2 cameras at the same time and OBS going is kind of stressful for my laptop for whatever reason. I imagine it's more stressful for Linux than it is for my laptop, but you know what, either way. If I can just get the screwdriver in the screw. Eric, I don't think it's that fancy. I just had a backup camera and I was able to just, you know. Okay, well that's good. Because for me it's noticeable but not annoying. So I was wondering about that. ASMR. Okay then. Now I will say one thing that I like about this laptop is, so there are magnets inside of it, which, you know, normally isn't a good idea, but at times you might want to do it. But the magnets are strong enough and positioned in such a way to where this plate, there are no clips. It is entirely magnetized down at this point, now that I've taken out the screws. Well, there are kind of clips. Yeah, they're clips. But it also has magnets. And I can demonstrate that. You can tell how it's kind of being attracted there. I really like that because it helps me to get it lined up correctly when I'm putting it back together. So, alrighty. And here we are. So, normally if you were doing this sort of procedure, you would take the heatsink and the RAM out, like off the motherboard, but I'm not going to do that. I could do the RAM if I wanted to, but I shouldn't take the heatsink off because I have no thermal compound in order to replace that. I thought about getting some because it's kind of cheap, but that may be just something that I do later on my own. But right now, I'm not going to be doing that. So, first things first is removing the battery. So, if I'm not mistaken, there are 3 screws holding the battery down, I think. And I know none of these screws are carrying power, despite being bare metal. More or less. Maybe have an epoxy on them. Or not epoxy, dang it, what's the word? My brain is totally dead. Enamel, that's it. And they might have like a small enamel or some sort of oil coating or something like that. Oh hey, magnet. But if it does, that's not a big deal. So, alrighty. There we go. There's our battery. I think I need to make sure to get the speakers out. Eric, the model of laptop this is... Okay, I do need to get the speakers out. So this is a Dell Inspiron 3127, I think. 2 cores, 2 threads, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Only 1 SODIMM slot, unfortunately. It has a 500 gigabyte hard drive. I might be swapping that out for an SSD here in a little, once we get done with the keyboard swap, because I have this 2006 MacBook Pro that has a 256 gigabyte SSD in it, and it seems a little bit unfair that a 2006 MacBook has an SSD, but a 2012 Dell laptop has a hard drive. So we're probably going to swap those out. I'm a little bit hesitant to do it though, because I already have the system on this set up really well for like a semi-lightweight GNOME experience. That's kind of contradictory because we're talking lightweight and GNOME, but it is lighter weight than your standard GNOME experience, but is still decent to use on a touchscreen. So I'm kind of hesitant. Yeah, I know I won't regret the SSD. I don't use the MacBook very often, so I know if I swap it out, I will actually like it more. It's just more of, is the capacity drop worth it? Because it would save it some power. It already gets like anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of battery life. So, you know, that's pretty nice. Okay, I've taken this apart before, and I gotta remember how I do this. I need to do this, and get the antenna wires out. Yeah, Arda, I agree. No one regrets an SSD with a cache. Everyone regrets an SSD that doesn't have a cache. Well, no, I'm gonna correct myself here. Not everyone. If you get an SSD that doesn't have a cache but is set up correctly, it could actually use the system RAM as a cache, but it's not something I would suggest, because that's like using your system RAM as video memory. Yeah. I haven't been able to look at disk usage yet, but I imagine it's pretty bad. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is the daughter board. Yeah, there we go. So this is the SD card reader, Wi-Fi card, and that's what keep the battery for the CMOS. The Wi-Fi card unfortunately only supports 2.4 gigahertz, which I really hate, and I've been debating on replacing the Wi-Fi card with something that supports 5 gigahertz. But I'm not going to use this thing very often anyway, and I think it might have Bluetooth. I think it does. So if it does get replaced, if the Wi-Fi card does get replaced, it's going to be replaced with something that has Bluetooth, because I like having Bluetooth in my laptops. Yeah, I think single core isn't a great time in general. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to get this speaker right here out, because I'm going to need to get it out here in a minute. I'm going to need to get this out too. I think it looks like there's a clip, at least on this one, both here and here. And I have some small flatheads over here on the side that I could use to like pop those clips, and I would probably need to pull it out. Does that actually have the magnets in it? It does. Heck yeah. Okay. So pull that out. And then try to get this baby out. Alrighty. So keyboard and trackpad are both detached now, as far as the wires are concerned. Getting the motherboard out is a hassle, unfortunately. And the real fun part is I'm also going to have to get the screen off. So, wish me luck, guys. Let's see. And I'm going to have to save most of these parts so that I can actually rebuild properly. Back on what's essentially a brand new chassis. And we're just going to place that to the side because I know exactly where that goes. Okay, also, whoever invented embedded DisplayPort was a complete and utter idiot. Because this is the stupidest connector I have ever seen. It plugs down like a little Lego thing, but then it has another little ribbon cable off to the side. Like, can we not just make it a simple, just Lego-like click-on connector or slide-in ribbon with a little latch on it? Like, come on, guys. You have one job. Please. Don't make mine more difficult. Oh. Am I actually? I think I can. Okay. That wire goes somewhere else. I don't know what it goes to. Oh, so that's... Woo! That'll be fun to reattach later. So this little chip right here is for volume, up and down, and power. So I don't want to lose that. And it looks like I'm going to have to pull some of the plastic off to figure out where this wire goes. Yeah, great. Okay. So, I think that's okay. And I think at this point, the only wire holding everything down, or screw holding everything down, is this baby right here. They use the same screw you used to screw down an M.2 drive to hold down the... You can't even see that, can you? Because that webcam's too low quality. Ooh. Yeah, Dell in general is alright to work in. I've worked inside Dells a couple times. I don't mind them too much. The few HPs I've worked in aren't too bad, though. And there's our motherboard, CPU, RAM, and heatsink all on one chip. Well, not really chip, but board. You get the point. So we're just going to set that off to the side now. Okay. So at this point, I've got to basically rip this thing apart. Unless some of the stuff I need is already put together over here. I doubt it. I haven't taken this out of the packaging yet, so I'm about to figure out more exactly what I need to grab. Alright. So it looks like the little buttons come with it, but there are no wires other than that for the keyboard pre-installed. That's going to be fantastic. Okay. Yeah, I've seen those too. I think my father had something like that. I ended up having to take apart his old laptop in order to get inside of it to get his hard drive out, because when he got a new laptop, he didn't want to lose any data, of course. So all I did was I took out the hard drive in his old laptop, stuck it in his new laptop, and called it a day. Well, that sucks. No fly screwdriver right there. Okay. The advantage of having one of these types of screwdrivers is I can just do that. Voila, flathead. And now I can unclip things. A little bit of a cheat, but you know what? I don't care. I think I'm not even going to bother taping down half of the wires. Because, I mean, like, if they're held down by PCBs, why bother taping them down? I understand cable management, but if it's kind of already taken care of for you, why bother? Oh, yes! I don't have to pull up all the plastic in the world. Which means that thing isn't going to get destroyed getting to look decent either. Yay! Alright. So, with the speakers out, I'm going to go ahead and put those in the new chassis thing. Just to save me a little bit of time later. And to also get the worst part of this entire upgrade done with. Well, not upgrade, but fix. You get the point. So let's see. This isn't gonna end up going well unless I pull off a miracle. Well, how do we get it down in there? Alright, now that the tape's out of the way. Ah. There we go. Yay! That's all put together now. Now I can take this and snap it into place like that. This fits into the little bitty groove right here. You know what? That's probably good right there. And then all I need to do is just run this wire through all this little cable management stuff. And voila. My speakers and power and volume buttons are installed. Yay! Alright, and I'm going to wait to stick this piece down until I'm about done and ready to put the motherboard in. Alright, now, I have never detached the screen, so I'm not going to worry about it just yet. I'm going to wait to do that last. I need to get the power cable out. That, oh hey, nice. Hi there. There we go. There's the cable for that. Alright. And there's the power in port. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here as well. And hey! I just had everything fall. It's okay though, it didn't fall too far. Alright. Did I get that cable managed right? No. No, I didn't. Here, let me turn this so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Turn a little bit, and I can get you down in there. There we go. And this shouldn't be too hard to get down in there now that it's turned a little bit. Or not. Okay, whatever. The only thing that was routed underneath there is the power cable, so as it is now, it should be okay to go ahead and pull that sticky off. But I'm not going to undo that, at least there, because if I need to get in and replace the keyboard again later, I don't want to have to rip it all to shreds. And apparently this model of laptop is notorious for having broken keyboards. Apparently someone was actually considering doing a class action lawsuit. So, fun times. Alright, back to our main attraction. Alright, trackpad's up next. So there's a couple screws here and here that I gotta undo. And once I undo those two, the trackpad basically just falls right out. Which is kinda nice, not gonna lie. As long as the screw actually turns. Hi there, you're a screw. You rotate when I put a screwdriver in you and turn. Thank you. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a trackpad. And the button to click is literally that little thing right there. It just like detects which side, which area right here you're touching in, and when you hit this button, it registers it as a click. Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and get touchpad swapped over to. I have a clicky noise. And once I get this touchpad swapped over, it should be ready to accept the screen. Okay. There we go. Now the good thing about these laptops is you can actually get replacement keyboards with trackpads included. So if I end up having to do this again and I can't get a trackpad out, that's okay. I can just order specifically one that has a built-in trackpad. Alrighty. Things are looking good so far. Next up, I need to get the screen off and swapped over. Once I do that, we are squarely in the realm of reassembly. Huzzah! Okay. So it looks like it comes with the brackets to hold everything down, so that's fortunate. But it doesn't look like it comes with the screws. So that is unfortunate. Also, it might not come with the brackets. Why aren't you... Okay. Let's just go ahead and... Voila. And now this thing is in the state the new one was in when I first got it. Sorry. The allergy season here. Alright. That is probably about the size of an iPad Pro, guys. And it's just the screen. This shows you how far we've come in... What? How many years has it been since 2012? 8 years? This shows you how far we've come. So these are not brackets to hold it down, it's brackets to hold it on. So, boo-me. But you know what? It's okay. I don't have quite enough space for this. Whoa. Well, actually, this does go underneath. Okay. Whatever you say. Okay, can I just say this is a poor design choice? It's only really held on by, like... Okay, it's held on by 3 screws, but 2 of those screws are also holding on the case. This... Is it just me, or does this sound like a poor design choice? Also, I just lost a screw to the depths of the magnets. Why do you hate me? Ugh, great. Where'd it go? Wait. Oh. Big dum-dum. There we go. Alrighty. Let's try that again, shall we? I'm so glad this isn't some sort of clean room operation. Oh god. Hi. You're a screw. You're supposed to go in the screw hole. Thank you for obeying me. Trying to get everything lined up so I can get the screws in. There we go. Ta-da! Alrighty. So, we got that going. Next thing we should probably put in should probably be the motherboard. Alright. Move. Thank you. Alrighty. And then my hands are very shaky, so this is not easy. Can't screw in the screw. Alright, we're gonna skip that screw for right this second. Wait, those two hold down the thingamabob. Great. Okay, fine. I hate embedded display port. Alright, there we go. And then goes on like that. Where'd that screw go? There it goes. That little hole right there is gonna be the death of me. There we go. That is much better. Okay. And then I can have you plug in right there. Alright, so power in is hooked back up. And so is the speakers. Alright. But it. Alrighty. So the screen is basically completely attached. Let's see if I can't get this one dedicated motherboard screw actually to go in. Hey! I think I got it all the way in. Not sure because it's dark. You know what? We're going to call it good. Our motherboard is in. Huzzah. Now I need to fold this thing over somehow. How is it done here? That's the back. This is the original keyboard. So I fold there and then there. Okay. This makes me cringe so much, having to intentionally fold a ribbon cable. Just, ugh. All the broken connections that I can see happening before my eyes. Ideally, though, I did it correctly. I hope. There we go. Now if I can just negotiate the trackpad to plug in. Ah. Helps if you flip the lever the right way. Alright. So at this point, I just need the daughter board and the hard drive and the battery. All things that I can very easily handle. We're going to do that. And do daughter board first. Oh, dang. I did pretty good with that lineup. Alright. The black. You guys can't see that. Okay. There is a black arrow and a white arrow, which tell me actually where I need to plug these wires into the Wi-Fi card. Thankfully. Plug. Come on. There we go. And then this is the one dedicated screw for the daughter board. I hope this is the one dedicated screw. It feels like it's the one dedicated screw. Okay. There's the daughter board connection. And if I can just get you to cooperate, I can get the power and volume keys plugged in. Come on. I know you're super tiny, but it doesn't mean you don't cooperate. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, maybe I should actually take that down. What did I do with the tape? I got rid of the tape. Oh well. So there's that. So just to test it, I'm just going to throw the HDD back in. I am not going to screw it down. And I'm not... Well, I'm going to screw down the battery just a little bit. Yeah. Reasons. Alright, there's that. And then El Battery. Alright, guys. This is the last piece. Everyone, please cross your fingers for me, because this is probably the biggest computer repair I have ever done. Where the... okay. And I probably did okay, but... you never know. And you know what? That one screw is probably enough. Let's see if this puppy turns on. I am very sketched out by that. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. Power button. As you guys can't see the power LED. There we go. It turns on! What? Mucho confuso. Ah! I see life! Alright. Oh! The inner key works! Ha ha! Here, let's, alrighty. While this is booting, those of you who think we should go ahead and switch to the SSD, leave a message in chat. I think it's going to be pretty unanimous if you ask me. It's still super slow, but that's to be expected. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Farron. Alright, is it showing GDM? Yes, it is. Haha! We're at the lock screen. Now for... alright, touchpad is working. I was able to log in! Yes! Now if it will just finish logging me in, because right now it's just a purple screen. Yay! Wait, this side. There it goes. Alright, so it's still set up for my setup that I had going to compensate for no keyboard. Alrighty. Let me find a flash drive right quick. Alrighty. So, the reason I was looking for a flash drive is I want to make sure this daughter board is hooked up correctly. It should be, but it's better to check than assume. Actually, here we go. Ooh, that's a one thing. 2.1 gigabyte volume contains software intended to be automatically started. Would you like to run it? Cancel, because I know what that is. I set up a game on this flash drive so that as soon as I plug it in, it will auto mount No, you cannot. So this flash drive not only contains that game, but it also contains a development ARM version of Draugr OS. So no, Codero, no, you cannot have this flash drive. Sorry. You can pick them up for like $10-20 at Walmart. It's a 64 gigabyte flash drive, so. Alright, let's see. As you can tell, it's still kind of slow. Alright, files. That is probably going to be Nemo. And I guess it might be Nemo. I don't know. It's the 2.1. Yay! I can read stuff. Alrighty. Eject. No, Codero. No. No. I'm not giving you my game. Why only put a game on there when you could run a Pharaoh OS from one and use it on most machines using a Windows recovery workaround? Because I wanted the game to be the same game on all my systems, and I actually have it set up so that it's supposed to work with Play on Linux, and the thing will bind, after it mounts the partition, it will bind mount a folder in that partition to a designated location on the file system if I have it set up to be able to play that game. But yes, I could, and actually, so since we have decided that we're going to swap this thing over to the SSD, when we get done with this, it will be running Draugr OS, because that SSD is running Draugr OS, because Draugr OS deserves the best, because I'm super biased. Hey! Alright. And that is a very bright light without the case on. Alrighty. So we are shut back down. Can I just... Yes. Yes, I can. Fantastic. Okay. So, I'll need to pull this little thingamajigger on it off later, but that's okay. We're going to put this to the side now. We're going to harvest ourselves an SSD. Say hello to the only MacBook in existence that Apple wanted you to be able to get into an upgrade. And I mean that because this is the battery. Underneath this little flap is the RAM. And then right here is a CD drive. I believe the SSD is over here. Something like that. Alright. So that was that. Can I please get in? Thank you. Is it too big? It's too big. That's why I have this thing with me. There it goes. Oh yeah, and it doesn't use all those weird torque security bits that Apple likes to use. It uses actual Phillips head screwdrivers. See? That's where the RAM is. Well, it does use torque security bits there, but everywhere else it doesn't. Alrighty. I'll have to come back and get those, I think, here in a little bit. But, so there are 4 screws there, 2 screws there, 4 screws there, 4 screws there, but there are none on the front. Let's start at the back. Honestly, the only thing that I'm kind of iffy about on this MacBook and swapping out the SSD for a hard drive is that would mean boot ups take longer, and this thing gets really, really hot, almost to the point where the bottom of it, I feel like it's going to burn me sometimes. So by swapping to a hard drive, because it's going to take longer to boot, it'll be able to warm up more. So yeah. But it could also be because it has a slower hard drive, the slower hard drive. Because it has a slower drive, the processor won't be able to clock up as high sometimes, especially during boot up, because it's waiting on reads from the hard drive. So maybe, I don't know. I would hope, but knowing me, I'm not that lucky. Oh, and yes, this is from the MagSafe era. For all my misgivings with Apple, MagSafe was great. And it needs to come back. And to be frank, it might. I could honestly see, like, in the future, USB 5, USB 6, they, instead of having USB-C, they have something that's like USB-C, but it's magnetic and still reversible. So, maybe a little bit more expensive to manufacture, but far more durable. And also, cooler. Because who doesn't like a magnetic connector? Come on. And honestly, I don't use this laptop a lot because even though it has full-size Ethernet, it has DVI. I don't have any. I have one monitor that has DVI, and it has 2 FireWire and whatever this weird thing right here is, and only 2 USB ports and a dedicated microphone port. I don't have anything that uses the dedicated microphone port. I don't have anything that uses FireWire. FireWire is dead, basically. So I basically can only use like 3 of the ports, not counting anything audio, just to like do stuff. Come on. I will say though, I do like the locking mechanism here. Oh wait, forgot to take those out. I really hate this thing sometimes. Not the MacBook, the keyboard I'm working in. Not keyboard. Dadgummit. The little screwdriver holder I'm using. It's so small. Will this fit? Just barely. If I'm lucky, it'll work correctly. There we go. That should help. Oh yeah, I forgot how this works. Derp. And there we are. Ta-da! And here's our target. Also, this was a very poor design choice. There are two cables going to this SATA connector. Why? Why? This is a very bad design choice. Alright. Lay that aside. Every screw should line up on this thing. Although I will say the one good thing about the 2-in-1 is this is significantly heavier than this, the SSD, so it may make it reduce its weight. It'll probably make it reduce its weight a little bit, which will make it a little bit more portable. Which is why I use it, is because I want something that's portable. If I need something with power while I have it, I can just SSH into my server. Apple's design isn't good. They know removed the fan for the CPU and put it on the other side of the laptop. Yeah, they did. I remember actually seeing that video from LTT about that stupid design choice. I think part of that is because with that CPU specifically, they were trying to make it perform worse, and that way what they could do is... How was this in here? I don't know. We're about to find out. They were trying to make it perform worse. That way, when they switched over to their own silicon, it makes it look like it performs better. Alright. Which, like, kind of would. Okay, so this needs to be flipped over. I'm glad I checked that before I screwed it in for real. Shaboom, shaboom, we good. Oh yeah, so this is a 240 gigabyte Patriot SATA 3 SSD. So it's going to saturate this laptop's puny SATA 3 interface. What am I doing? Alright. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they actually took the laptop that they did that with, and they started out with, what did they do? They took the heatsink off and liquid metaled it. They replaced the thermal interface, what's the word? The thermal grease. And they replaced it with liquid metal. And that helped a little, not a ton. And then they did something, and I think they ended up water cooling the thing, and it performed amazing once they did that. Alrighty. Yeah, thermal paste. Thank you. Alright, can I get you in there? Yes, I can. Okay. So, where are the screws that were holding this down? Okay, and then I need this screwdriver. Because I only have 2 screws holding it down. Which here, I probably only need 1, but you know what? That's okay. It'll protect it from the vibration of the fan. And you see how tiny that fan is? It'll protect it from the vibration of the fan. As if it needs protection from vibration. The entire thing other than the fan is solid state now. Okay, where's the battery? There it is. Protecting it from the vibration of the fan. Jeez. It's probably the derpiest thing I've said all day. Alrighty. These 3. So you, sir, go here. The battery is one thing that I try to make sure is screwed in really, really well, because you don't want that flopping around. It can be dangerous. Alrighty. Let's do that a little bit. Yeah. So you guys can see that. Hey, there we go. Oh yeah, and this is using system deboot. So it'll boot nice and fast. Not just because it has an SSD. Hey! I think this is using a custom compiled kernel. I don't remember if I put it on Zanmod or not. Because this was installed with like beta 1. So I had to like manually upgrade it. It looks really good though. Okay. And go. I'm gonna assume that you're good. Oh, it is on the Zanmod kernel. Fantastic. Alright, guys. There you go. Can you see that? I don't think you can. Yeah, DruggerOS 751, Inspiron 113147, Zanmod 5619, uptime basically none. Yeah, that is super blurry, ain't it? Yeah, so, there's that. That's nice. I will fix the wallpaper later. And I now have hybrid sleep capabilities. Yay! It's one thing that I will always say that DruggerOS has over Ubuntu. We have hybrid sleep capabilities out of the box, assuming you give it enough swap. This thing, I'm pretty sure, has enough swap. Alright. Alrighty. Let's put this thing back together now. It doesn't have anything to like anchor it in place in here, so we're just gonna plug it in and hope for the best. It should still boot, But I'm pretty sure it's going to be overwhelmed pretty quickly. Just due to the simple fact of this thing's running GNOME. Glad I put XFCE on it, though. It's going to be super configured for touchscreen. Gah. I'm probably going to... I am probably going to wipe it and install something else. I might reinstall Draugr OS. I don't know. We'll see. Can you go in, please? Why do you not like me? It's because you're an Apple product, isn't it? I'm just trying to get the thing lined up right now so that it'll go back together. Because it never does like to do that. Turns out part of the problem is I had some bent pins. No. Where's my knife? Oh, it's around here somewhere. There it is. Alright, Shellruns, this is Super Sketch. Don't try this at home. I need pliers, honestly. Or that. That works too. As long as I don't get cut in the process. I have actually taken apart computers before and gotten cut in the process. It's not a fun experience. And for the record, when that happened, that computer was from like the 60s or 70s or something like that. So I was sitting there afraid I'd gotten lead poisoning or something. Alrighty. Now then. I'm just going to screw in a handful of these screws. I do remember a couple of them actually making important connections in here, though. So I might have to actually screw it completely together. So those hold that down. These two, I'm pretty sure, screw in right there. There we go. And now I'm just going to go ahead and slap that in. Still has something of a charge. Will it open? Does it hate me now? It's always hated me. probably screw some of those back screws in. It doesn't want to open up for some reason. I've had this issue before, I don't remember how I fixed it. So I'm starting with screwing in more screws. Will it work? I don't know. Oh, come on. You know what? Fine. Go in crooked. I don't care. There it goes. Alright. Whew. Sorry if you're in the dark. It's very bright. I hate this. And system boot order not found. Initializing defaults, creating boot entry boot 0003 with Ubuntu. Oh yeah, this thing lights up. Are you gonna boot? Yes, it looks like you'll boot. Okay. This is gonna be stupid slow because it's on a hard drive now. Farron, it's not my fault, okay? Talk to Apple about that, okay? I can't even access the UEFI. I have no way of doing that. Because stupid Apple... Well, it's going at least. We have a cursor. Based on a Super Mario Maker 2 joke that's common between level creators regarding pipes. Oh. Farron, I've never played Super Mario Maker, let alone Super Mario Maker 2. That is very bright looking. Okay. For you guys, it looks super bright and white. For me, it's just bright purple. And I'm going to disable this on-screen keyboard now. Honestly, this looks way better than it did on the other thing, so... I think this is going to end up being a win. Like, just all around a win. What can I say, Codero? It had no... I'm used to Ubuntu. Alright, where is my cursor? I keep wanting to touch the screen! It looks really good, though. Alright. We are going to take my mouse from the laptop that's currently streaming, and we're going to plug it in here. Because apparently... There it goes. DruggerOS development TLDR. If pipes don't have anything on their other end to make them look like they're dug into the ground rather than being airborne, they're considered naked pipes. Okay then. Yeah. Preferences. I'm just quickly going through here and taught me some stuff. Don't ask me why they just are, and it's a very common joke. I mean, fair. Where is my thing? Settings, I guess. And then I want not that. Applications. No. Where do I go to change this? That, and also that white screen is suddenly reminding me of that one SpongeBob movie joke about King Neptune's bald head. I've never seen SpongeBob movie. Where? It's usually in here. It's always that. Okay. And I want on board. I've heard jokes like that before. On board, where are you? I don't know. I'll find it later. Either way. Ta-da. Ubuntu on... Let's, there we go. Ubuntu on a MacBook. Haha. Yay. Still on a hard drive, but you know what? That's okay. Let's shut down real quick. And I'm gonna unplug that. Plug it in up here. And while that's shutting down... Oh, it's already shut down. Nice. Ugh. Alrighty. Let's finish putting this back together. Wait. I need to screw all those screws back into that MacBook here in a minute. But you know what? I should honestly go ahead and do that, though. Just so that way... Replace the logo on the back of the laptop with the Jogger OS logo. I would love to do that, Codero. I would love to take... Yes, this. I would love to take this out and, like, take... It'd be better to just take the entire piece of metal top off and get a new one made. And then, instead of the Apple logo, just, like, cut out the Jogger OS logo. And instead of having this... translucentish plastic, do like a translucentish red plastic. That way whenever the thing turns on, I can't point, the Jogger OS logo lights up. That would be cool. I would love that. 100%. I am down for that. There's only one problem. The back of this is so complex, I don't think I can easily CNC me a new one. I don't know about a laptop brand. I have considered doing OEM type stuff, like partnering with an OEM in order to ship Jogger OS on actual hardware. But Jogger OS is meant for exclusively gaming. It is not meant to be a daily driver. Therefore, I would need to find an OEM that makes mostly gaming hardware and talk them into Jogger OS support. And I would be inclined to go with all AMD hardware That way I'm not shipping proprietary NVIDIA drivers. But at the same time, I feel like I want to give the best performance possible to my users. So if I did do some sort of OEM partnership, I would want to be shipping something with NVIDIA graphics so you can get better performance. Unless AMD decides to flip the tables on NVIDIA, because they've already done that on Intel. Like, at this point, you know, if I were to make a gaming computer, laptop, desktop, whatever, it would definitely have an AMD CPU. Because not only do you know how to deal with Spectre and Meltdown and Zombie Load and every other hardware security vulnerability in existence, you also get better performance in quite a bit. And like, yes, you're not getting the best performance in gaming with AMD yet. But the performance, you keep most of the performance, and the security trade-off is, in my opinion, worth it. Plus, you have way more PCIe lanes, so you can do a much more kitted out computer. So think like 4 PCIe Gen 4 drives in software RAID 0. So you're using all your PCIe lanes. Like an RTX 2080 Ti. A dedicated network card for 10 gig networking. I'm trying to think of more stuff I would chuck in there. Oh, maybe a sound card if you were into that sort of stuff and wanted to like game at night, do audio production during the day. Something like that at this point, you would definitely need an AMD CPU in order to have enough PCIe lanes. Because that's... I don't know how many lanes most... I don't know how many lanes most PCIe SSDs take, but I know most NVMe SSDs take 4 lanes. So if you, assuming they're like that, 4 lanes for 4 SSDs, that's 16 lanes, 16 for the GPU, and then I guess let's go with like 4, which is probably way too many for the words coming to mind, for the 10 gig network card, and that puts you at, let's see, so you had 16 and 16, so that's 32, and the 4, 36. And then I'd say like 2 for the sound cards, that puts you at 38. I don't know of any CPUs that have 38 PCIe lanes, but I know there are several that have 40. I think that most high-end Intel CPUs have at least 20. I think some have 40, but you would need something very high-end in order to have that many lanes. But you'd also want a few more lanes so your CPU can connect to your words coming to mind. The chipset, that's it. So that your CPU can communicate with the chipset. That's that. That's what I need. Okay. So you're going to want, I think it's another 4 lanes go to the chipset, because that's all your I/O, except for display output, which is handled by your GPU, unless you are using an integrated GPU, in which case, yeah, then your chipset probably does handle your display output. Alrighty. Doesn't look like I screwed anything in underneath stuff, so I'm just being a doofus right now. Where is my big screwdriver? Yes. There we go. So, if you ask me, you should really go with an AMD CPU. So if you're talking gaming laptops, then a Ryzen, it's not 4th gen Ryzen, it's a Ryzen 4000 series, because they're still part of Ryzen 3rd gen. But a Ryzen 4000 series CPU would be absolutely insane, because they get great performance and great efficiency. As for Draugr OS going on a gaming laptop, it wasn't initially meant for laptops. It was meant more for desktops. You can put it on a laptop if you want to, though. I'm not going to say anything against it. That being said, I feel like a gaming laptop is going to be a more multi-purpose device, whereas a gaming desktop would be more likely to be used exclusively for gaming. So my thought process is go for a gaming desktop instead of a gaming laptop. But you know, if there's a big enough demand for it, sure. Why not? Something just snapped into place. I think I connected the Wi-Fi cables, didn't I? Didn't I? I think I did. We're about to find out. I think I remember them being hooked up, but I'm not 100% sure. If you remember me hooking up the Wi-Fi antennas, they were probably in this area-ish. Let me know. You guys might not have been able to see it very well, though. Alright. Yep, okay. Also, everyone, the boot logo was made by our web developer and aesthetics smartass, Logan. So, why? Why is that? I know why it looks like that. Derpy. Derp, 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 derp. Let's say, don't you dare break my thingamabob. Alright. I'm going to fix my wallpaper real quick. Yes, I did plug those in. Fantastic. Close. Hello. Is what? No. No. Guys. Guys. Dude. I am very miffed right now. Wait. What? Alright. So get this. I'm going to hit each of these keys one time. Yep. Actually, let's do it over here so you can actually see what I wrote. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. The keyboard died. I have broken keys, and I just replaced the keyboard. What in the hell, guys? What in the hell? Here. In case you couldn't see it very well over there. I can't see. That's a little better. Yeah. So the K, F, J, D, L, and A, and D keys are all not working. So F, J, D, L, A, D. And us. I'm not very happy right now. I literally, and I'm 99.99% certain that I didn't get them mixed up, because this one, the old one, has a ripped piece of plastic, the other one doesn't. Not to mention, there's stickers on this one and there wasn't on the new one. Thanks a lot, Dell. Thanks a lot. I greatly appreciate this. And the enter key isn't working either. And it was. I don't think that's going to work, Cadero. I'm just very fed up right now because I have been dealing with this keyboard issue and just working around it for several weeks. And I ordered a $40 new keyboard thinking, okay, it may eventually do this too, but it's not going to do it immediately. And it does it immediately. That's great. That's just great. You know what? I'll try turning it back on. Just in case it is a fluke. Nope. Enter's not working. Definitely not a fluke. Well, sorry I couldn't get it working in the end, guys. That just really bugs me. Yeah. Really, Farron? Really? Really? It's a few times too fast for it to be doing that. Alright. Oh well. Oh, I just dropped that on the floor. Oh well. Well, guys. Let's see if I can't get this. I think it's that one. Yeah. I think it's a keyboard issue. Hang on, I'm trying to get... Won't let me do that. Okay, then. Well... Oh, I know what I need to do. I'm trying to figure out OBS here. There we go. Hey, there we are. So yeah. Not what I wanted to happen, but okay. Alright, guys. Thank you for going on this journey with me and dealing with all of this. What's the word I'm wanting? This hardship and strife. That's really shitty of Dell to do that, you know? Because your customers pay... So you have a thermostat behind you. Can you lower it to 70 degrees? Yeah, it might, Farron. But yeah, you would think that, well, that the keyboard thing would work, but apparently not. Heard there was a class action lawsuit thing at one point, though. So, yeah. Also, I'm noticing I have a little bit of latency between my speaking and my audio. Huh. Okay. I mean, okay. Well, with that, guys, I'm going to end it here while I go sulk in misery over not being able to fix a stupid laptop keyboard. So, have a good one, everyone.